Just really happy with the win. It's a great win for our ladies, and to watch our ladies really get after it on the defensive end of the floor, that was key, and rebounding was key to go +7 on the glass, very important. And I just love the fight in our girls today, the energy, and to hold Creighton to just 4 threes is really a hard thing to do. And the fact that they only got 11 of them off is really a hard thing to do. So just really credit our girls' energy, effort, and execution.
Devin, you're 4 or 5 from 3 today, but I think in your last 6, you're about 55% from 3. What has allowed you to kind of unlock that with a lot more consistency?
I think definitely just starting in practice. My coaches being on me to shoot when I'm open, and my teammates trusting me and kicking it one more pass. So, yeah.
Okay, Coach just talked about just a second ago about the defensive side of the ball. You actually had 3 steals in that first quarter, 9 points. 2 of those steals actually went to a made basket on you. Can you talk about the defense and the tone you want to set early?
I want to give credit to Coach Jill. She's really hard on us on defense. Every practice, we work really hard on our pressure that let us get a lot of steals. And I feel we put a lot of ball pressure because we know they want to shoot threes. They don't like pressure. And it just helps that they get tired quicker than we are. So it helps to steal ball more times. So.
Guys, you've obviously been able to, after a rougher start to Big East play, you guys have won like your last 2 home games. What does it mean to be able to start to put something together for these home fans as you guys have kind of gone through a lot of adversity for either of the players?
I think it means a lot. Like I said last time, it shows that we're better than our record. We're building every game at a time, every possession at a time. And now that we're in the second round of the Big East, I feel like we have a feel for everybody, and we're about to play our best basketball.
Kind of going off that question, for either of you guys, you played Creighton about a month ago and lost by 20, but tonight, definitely the better player on the court. How do you guys feel during a game, feeling that it's a lot different the second time around playing somebody you already know?
I feel we just find a way how to win games and go through adversity and play harder than we played before 1 month. So we improve a lot after that game. So because we started really good the first game against Creighton and we kind of lost. So it was tough loss for us. And we watch a lot of film and we practice together. So we just know what to do today better. So.
Devin, the last time you scored 16 points, I believe, was last year against Charlotte 49ers. Can you just speak on your performance and knowing when to turn it on as far as finding your shot versus continue to get everyone involved in the game?
I think it just, as a point guard, it kind of comes natural to me, just when to facilitate and when to look for, like, to be aggressive. I think just finding, as the games go on, just finding my rhythm, I think that's been important. And like I said, like, it starts in practice. My coaches know what I can do, and I feel like I wasn't doing that at the beginning of the season. So now I'm playing better.
And then, Kate, you were kind of everywhere tonight, double-double, 5 steals, 5 assists. Just what's working for you tonight and what's been working for you throughout the season as you've kind of been one of the veteran presences on this team?
I feel just my coaches, they still believe in me that I can play defense better, I can execute offense better, I can play any position. So the last couple of games I was like kind of like confused. Am I guard? Am I post? Today just let the game come to me and just do whatever I can do to help my team to win. So.
Al, what you got?
Coach, you talked about the defense. Looks like you all were picking this team up 94 feet at the beginning of the game. Can you just talk about that mindset that you had going into this game as far as making an impact on the defensive end?
Well, we picked them up full court. The first time we played them, we felt like that was effective for us. And we felt like we could wear them out. And it's not always about just getting steals on the ball. It's not all about getting steals in your pressure. It's also about just the wear-out factor over 40 minutes. And I just thought our ladies did a great job of defending. And you know, it's been a point of emphasis for us with the whole fouling thing. And, you know, I thought our players did a great job in the first, second, and fourth quarters, staying clean. And on the third quarter, we kind of started that second half again in that whole foul mode and just kind of got that stopped. And I thought that was also a key for us to win the basketball game, to just keep them off the free throw line. We didn't want to allow Creighton to score by threes in transition or free throws, you know, and we've struggled there. And I thought our ladies did a great job today of just staying clean and not putting them to the line as often.
Jill, you talked about that third quarter, just kind of self-inflicted mistakes, especially after you've had games where you've held leads late and then blown them at the end. How was it to have a third quarter like that, but then to kind of quickly turn the page into the fourth quarter?
Well, it was great, but we didn't want the third quarter to be like that, We've talked this week just about, like, this month, our team has played a lot better basketball the entire month of January. But we lost the last 4 games we had lost were -9 on the free throw line, 12, 17, 21, and you don't want to start a game out 21-0, to be down 21-0. So the message of having to stay clean, we've talked about it a lot, but then to see them, we kind of slipped into it the third quarter, and then to see them rebound and not foul in the fourth quarter was great. But that's going to continue to have to be a point of emphasis for us, for sure. But it was great to see, but it wasn't great to see in the third quarter.
Coach, you guys talk about how you've kind of been a different team since the calendar turned to January, and starting with that win over Georgetown, you go to barttorvik.com, you guys are a top 25 offense in the country. Just what's changed for your offense these past couple weeks as the ladies have kind of started to get further into Big East play?
You know what, really, I don't feel like, we said from the beginning, when you're open, we want you to shoot it. And we just kept saying that shots are going to start to fall. Now, with Devin in particular, she wasn't being aggressive to score, and we needed her to be that way, and I think she has embraced it now. But in defense of her, she missed a large part of the offseason when she got hurt in October. So I think it took her a while to get kind of in the mix here, just feeling comfortable about how we wanted to play, the fact we want to get up and down. But I think it's probably, once they see the ball go in, then they're just more confident. There were certainly stretches in December and parts of November where it's tough to make a basket. And, I wouldn't say our shots are any different. It's just that now they're going in. So we just got to continue to work at it. And then the way, players become more confident when they see the ball go in. So.
Coach, both teams today were representing KL before and during and after the game. What does that mean for your squad, and especially for Michelle, who was named the servant leader at the beginning of the season?
I think, we spent time last night showing them a video of Coach Yao, and I had the privilege of getting to know Coach Yao quite a bit during my time at Nike, and to be able to relay to our team the importance of, just women taking care of themselves, taking care of their health, how much breast cancer is still a challenge. We talked about, given the staff and the players in the room yesterday, 5 or 6 of us are going to have cancer based on the numbers. And to kind of make that point, and that kind of hits home a little bit more for them. But Coach Yao was an unbelievable woman. She was an unbelievable woman of faith. She battled breast cancer 3 times, and in her final battle, wanted to unite the coaches all across the country to come together and fight women's cancers. And the KYAL Cancer Fund was created through the help with Nike and the Women's Basketball Coaches Association. And Coach Yao didn't even want to put her name on it. We had to convince her to put her name on it. But it's been an unbelievable initiative, and they've raised millions of dollars. And it's a really great lesson for our ladies to learn about, women's cancers. And also, the KYAL Cancer Fund was here providing a check to, I think it's called Equal Hope, to allow women who cannot afford to have mammograms, free mammograms, and how important it is to have screening. So it's just a great lesson, and I was just proud of our players to, want to be a part of that. And Michelle certainly deserves to be a servant leader. She's a young woman who gives of her time quite a bit in the Lincoln Park community and doesn't tell anyone about it. She just goes and helps. So she certainly was well deserving of that, and Coach Yao would be proud of Michelle Ojo.
Jill, I'm curious, how much of the success that you guys have had over the last month just a byproduct of finally having pretty much your whole roster available and healthy?
I think that plays a part for sure, Nick. I also think, the most difficult part of the schedule was early in conference play. But I feel like just having some I don't even, I was a math major, not an English major, sometimes finding the words, it's hard for me. But to just have some, I don't even want to, just having a routine of who's going to play, who's available, because what was difficult early was key players were out, and you're having to play, and then Devin comes back, and now that changes things. Meg Newman comes back, Hageman's out, now Hageman's back. So I just think I think players play best when they kind of know what's going to happen, when they know what to expect, when they know when they're going to come in. So I think it's a big part of it, but I also think it's just a matter of, we're trying to get better every week. And I think our ladies, I've said before, have shown great resiliency in between games, regardless of how tough our losses have been, regardless of how many have been in a row, of coming in the gym and working to get better.
And Coach, and speaking on that, just looking at the offense and how it's actually been just flowing with ball movement, everyone moving, actually at a faster pace at that. So can you just speak on that, how that has actually evolved with this team over the last month or so?
Well, from day one, we talk about sharing the basketball. We don't want to search off the dribble. We want our players to have complete freedom. And, as Coach Bruno would call it, the greenest green light in America. So when you're open, you shoot it. So you don't have to worry about it. When you're open, you shoot it. But we don't want you to search. You come back, you come down to your dribble, and then you make a good decision at the end of it. And I know early on that was just a challenge for us. And I would say, I've spoken before where it's their desire to do well for their teammates that I think would put us in forcing shots, taking bad shots. And we chart contested shots and uncontested shots every game and what we shoot from contested versus uncontested. And it's important to work to create open shots and then to have the patience to do so. So I feel like they're just seeing that better, and then once you start sharing the basketball, that part becomes contagious. So.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about Elena West today. She had when the third quarter, when Creighton was kind of making that run towards the end, she grabbed 3 offensive rebounds in the game. Just kind of talk about the work she's done for the team that kind of doesn't always show up in the box score, just kind of always being there.
Yeah, one of those was off of a tough shot, right? Yeah, so she wanted to make sure she got that offensive rebound. We talked about that one. But Elena, what I said to her from the beginning, she's a player who plays very aggressive, and that's what we need, and in some of these games when we've been up, and then we lose, it's like you have to stay aggressive. You have to stay aggressive. So we love her approach. She's a great defender. She's a great on-ball defender. She's willing to be physical. She's willing to be combative, and we need that. We always need that. And Taya brings some of that also. But Elena is also a great downhill driver, and she's used to scoring. She considers herself like she has a scorer's mentality. And, it's a little bit like she's come a long way, but she's just a freshman, and I think that's been part of our growth also, Nick, is just some of our younger guards are getting more experience.
When you talk about players being aggressive, I'm just curious, can you give us kind of a mid-season peek into who's ahead in the Charge Club? I know several were taken today.
Yes, I know. I said to him, we're back in the charge business because we went 3 games without one. So I would tell you that I think Meg and no, Allie could have taken the lead here, but Meg, Allie, Summer have the most charges, But it was great to get back into charge business because we need it, and those are great momentum plays.
Anyone else?
All right, thank you guys. Thank you for coming.